All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. It is that time of the week, folks. It's time for my weekly picks in the world of the National Football League. And boy, oh boy, did we have ourselves a thriller last night. I picked the Ravens over the Bengals. I said 27-23. Clearly, the final score exceeded that, but nonetheless, these two AFC North rivals slugged it out in what was arguably the best game of this NFL season. I feel like I've been saying that a lot about when the Ravens and the Bengals get together. But nonetheless, we've got some good action on tap for this Sunday as well as the Monday night affair. And with that said, here are my picks for week number 10 in this NFL season. Now, usually, the NFL prides themselves in showcasing their best. That is not going to be the case on Sunday in Munich, Germany, when you got the 2-7 New York Giants taking on the 2-7 Carolina Panthers. Both of these teams are looking to desperately get a win. Of course, we saw the Panthers upset the New Orleans Saints last week. Of course, that led to Dennis Allen being fired. And the Giants are just simply trying to get a win after being hard luck losers week in and week out. I'll tell you like this. It's been bad times for both the Giants and Panthers. There's no way to sugarcoat that. When both of these teams win, it's actually more of an upset. Somebody's got to win this game to come Sunday morning. It's one of those, you got Brian Burns, who was traded by the Panthers this past offseason to the New York Giants, got that big contract extension. Will he have an impact against his former team? But nonetheless, I think this is going to come down to which quarterback does a better job taking care of the football, and also which quarterback is able to lead his team down the field on touchdown drives, plural. Okay. It's one of those. New York is favored by 6.5. It will not be pretty, but I'm going to take the Giants to get the 24-17 win. Now at Soldier Field on Sunday afternoon, you've got the 4-4 Chicago Bears hosting the 2-7 New England Patriots. And for the Bears, it's been a tale of two clubs. They're undefeated at home while they have yet to get a win on the road. And the strength of this Bears team in 2024 has been their defense. They've been, tapped a little bit in the last couple of weeks, losing on the road to Washington and then, of course, Arizona. The Bears got to get back defensively to getting after a quarterback. And regardless if it's going to be Jacoby Brissett or Drake May out there, I think it's going to be Drake May for the Patriots. They got to go out there and make life tough for that young man. It's one of those. Are we going to see some cohesion from this Bears offense against this Patriots defense? That's going to be another big question in this one. Chicago is favored by 6 in this one. The over and under is 38.5. I'm going to take the over on both, and I'm going to take the Bears at home by the score of 24-16. Now you've got the 7-2 Buffalo Bills traveling to take on the 4-5 Indianapolis Colts. And for Buffalo, they simply just keep on winning. This team just feeds off of the energy and the pulse of the starting quarterback, Josh Allen, as he is the centerpiece for this Bills franchise. On the flip side, the Colts know, hey, we're going with veteran quarterback Joe Flacco the rest of the way. They feel like he gives them the better opportunity to win. Joe Flacco will give Buffalo an opportunity to win this game, but give Indianapolis rather an opportunity to win this game. But nonetheless, I'm going with Buffalo on the road by the score of 27-20. Now at Arrowhead, you've got the two-time defending Super Bowl champions, the Kansas City Chiefs, sporting that 8-0 record as they are hosting the 5-4 upstart Denver Broncos. And for Kansas City, they continue to get it done while they walk that fine line of the razor's edge. And I'm saying that because it's not like the Chiefs are a bad team, but they know that they are the litmus test for everybody that they face, and every team that they face wants to be the one to say, hey, we knocked off the champs. I look at this game like this. The Broncos under head coach Sean Payton have not lacked effort. Denver does not make it easy on their opponents, and it's going to be very interesting to see if this Denver defense can get after Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes. You remember last year the two times that these two age-old AFC West rivals dating back to the AFL played. This Broncos defense got after Patrick Mahomes. They put him on his keister multiple times, and they stymied this Chiefs offense. They're going to have to do it again, which is easier said than done. Then you have this Chiefs defense going up against rookie quarterback Bo Nix. And I guarantee you, Chiefs defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo is not going to make it easy on the youngster. The over under in this game is 41 and a half. Kansas City comes in favored by 7.5 at home. I think it's going to be a lot closer than that. And this is my upset pick of the week, folks. I'm going Denver on the road over the champs by the score of 24-22. Now, in the NFC South, you've got the 6-3 Atlanta Falcons traveling to the Superdome to take on the 2-7 New Orleans Saints. And for Atlanta, they're looking to try to distance themselves from the pack, if you will, in the NFC South, while the Saints are looking for some semblance of order. New Orleans has lost their last seven, which of course resulted in head coach Dennis Allen being fired. And I think because of that, the Saints will play a more spirited brand of football. But you have an Atlanta Falcons team, they're believing in quarterback Kirk Cousins. He basically he's filling a lot of voids that was holding this Falcons team back. And then, of course, head coach Raheem Morris. Another factor, I know that the coaches have changed, both coaches from last year when these two teams met in the Superdome. But guess what? You go back to the end of last season when the Saints ran up the score on the Falcons. A lot of players from that Falcons team are still on that squad. I guarantee you they have not forgotten. And I'm going to take Atlanta on the road in this one by the score of 27-20. Now in Tampa, you've got the 4-5 Tampa Bay Buccaneers hosting the 4-4 San Francisco 49ers. And for Tampa Bay, they have to put that heartbreak from Monday night behind them as they fell to the Chiefs in overtime. Nonetheless, we know that Tampa Bay is decimated, but guess what? Under head coach Todd Bowles, this team is going to be ready to play, and they're going to give you everything that they have on every single play. On the flip side, for the San Francisco 49ers, they've been a walking wounded this year, but nonetheless, they do get Pro Bowl running back Christian McCaffrey back as he is set to make his season debut for San Francisco this Sunday afternoon. You look at that Bucks cover two going up against the youngster at quarterback for San Francisco, Brock Purdy. Will they be able to make life tough for him? And then the San Francisco defense, can they get after quarterback Baker Mayfield? That is going to be a key right there. I think this is going to be a back and forth contest, but San Francisco pulls away late, and I'm going to take the Niners by the score of 27-20. Now, a big one in Maryland is you're going to have the 7-2 Washington Commanders hosting the 6-2 Pittsburgh Steelers. And this Steelers defense, this proud Steelers defense, has to go out there and do something that not a lot of people have been able to do so far this year. Slow down Commanders rookie quarterback Jayden Daniels. I look at it like this. The Steelers are going to try to go out there and get after Daniels. Easier said than done, but Pittsburgh has the athletes on that side of the football, led by TJ Watt. Can they find a way to slow down Jayden Daniels? That is going to be the key. Pittsburgh is coming into this game off of a bye, and hopefully their offense can pick it up. They've looked different and they've looked crisper with the veteran Russell Wilson entrenched as their starting quarterback now. A lot of talent on the offensive side for the Steelers. Can they make life tough for the Commanders defensively? Washington is favored by 2.5 points at home. You're going to have probably as many terrible towels in the stands in Maryland cheering for the Steelers as you would for the Commanders from their fan base from the Burgundy and Gold. But nonetheless, I'm going to take Pittsburgh on the road in this one by the score of 27-24. Now in Jacksonville, you've got the 2-7 Jaguars hosting the 6-2 Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings come into this contest favored by 7. And of course, it doesn't look like Jacksonville is going to have the services of quarterback Trevor Lawrence in this one, which means it's going to be former Alabama quarterback Mac Jones more likely than not. But Mac Jones or Trevor Lawrence, whoever it's going to be, They have to go out there and face this Brian Flores led defense. And when this Vikings defense is clicking, they have made life tough for opposing quarterbacks this season. I think that trend continues. I think Sam Darnold and Justin Jefferson do enough on offense to keep the Vikings rolling. And I'm going to take Minnesota by the score of 31-17. Now in Inglewood, you've got the 5-3 Chargers hosting the 2-6 Tennessee Titans. The Lightning Bolts come into this game favored by 7.5, and very quietly, Jim Harbaugh is turning things around for the Chargers. I expect the physicality of the Chargers to be in display on this one. On both sides of the football, I like their defense going up against this Tennessee Titans offense. I think that's the difference. The Lightning Bolts are favored by 7.5. The over under is 38.5. I'm going to go with the over on both. And I'm going to take the Chargers at home by the score of 31-13. Now, when the schedule was released for this season, this game right here was circled by a lot of people, but it has lost some sizzle. And I'm talking about the 6-2 Philadelphia Eagles traveling to Arlington to take on the 3-5 Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys have a who's who as far as who's out for them right now. And of course, the biggest injury and the biggest absence for them in this game is going to be quarterback Dak Prescott. That means that Dallas will be going with Cooper Rush at quarterback. And of course, a couple of years ago, Cooper Rush did fill in admirably for the injured Dak Prescott as he went 4-1 in his absence. However, things are a lot different for the Dallas Cowboys right now. They have issues running the football. They also have issues stopping the run. And they are facing an Eagles team that can run the football with the best of them. This Dallas defense is going to have their work cut out for them if Philadelphia decides to give the football to running back Saquon Barkley early and often. I think they will. That will set the tone. It will set the tenor, and it's going to open things up in the passing game. You've got Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts, who himself is dealing with an ankle injury, but he will play. But nonetheless, I expect a bulk of the work to come from number 26 in green. Philadelphia is favored by 7 in this one. I think they put Dallas out of their misery early, and I'm going to take the Eagles on the road by the score of 34-20. Now in the desert, you've got the 3-6 New York Jets traveling to take on the 5-4 Arizona Cardinals. And for the Jets, they look like a different team last Thursday on Thursday Night Football when they beat the Houston Texans at home, and they're trying to keep that momentum going. They have some additional rest in this one. You look at it with Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams, they're starting to get that cohesion like they had once upon a time in Green Bay. But still, with all of that said and everything, all of the talent that the Jets have at the wide receiver position, they've got to run the football on this Cardinals defense with Brees Hall and Braylon Allen. This Jets defense, they stymied Texans quarterback CJ Stroud last week. Now they've got their hands full with the scrambling assassin, and I'm talking about Kyler Murray. If they're not able to stop Murray, they're going to be in for a long Sunday afternoon. New York is favored by 1.5 in this one, but I'm going to take Arizona at home by the score of 24-23. Now on Sunday night, something's got to give because you've got the 7-1 Detroit Lions traveling to take on the 6-3 Houston Texans. And I say that something's got to give because Detroit is 4-0 on the road, while Houston is 4-0 at home. The Texans have had some additional time to prepare for this game following their loss last Thursday night to the Jets. And for Houston, they've been decimated with injuries, especially on the offensive side of the ball at the receiver position. Will the Lions be able to make them pay for that? For Detroit, they just keep on clicking as this is arguably the best team going right now in the National Football League. For some people, they feel like, hey, this could be a Super Bowl preview. You never know. But I think two of the best teams in the NFL will be on display on Sunday night. I think the last team to possess the football wins, and I'm going to give that edge to the Texans by the score of 30-27. And finally, on Monday night, you got the 2-6 Miami Dolphins traveling to Inglewood to take on the 4-4 Los Angeles Rams. Los Angeles is a different team at home, and after the slow start, this team is picking up, and I think that right there is the embodiment of their head coach Sean McVay. Because you know what, they fight, scrap, and claw, and they do whatever it takes to go out there and get a win. And I think Miami is going to pack a lunch which means that the Rams are going to go have to go out there and fight scrap and claw once again. Will Tua be able to get the football to the likes of Tyreek Hill and let him do his thing in this contest? And will this Dolphins defense be able to slow down Matthew Stafford and company on Monday night? We've got to wait and see. The Rams are favored by a point at home. I think this one is going to be tight throughout, but I am going to take the Rams by the score of 24 to 23. So, folks, those are my picks for week number 10 in this NFL season. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank each and every one of you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take this time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you haven't already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on the X, formerly known as Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it will be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. Now you can check it out. Drop a line and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin, and I am signing off. And I'm saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.